Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to see everybody here, our dedicated staff, our tireless faculty, our inspiring students, and most of all, our alumni and supporters. As chair of the Board of Governors, I have the distinct privilege of witnessing the growth and the yellow jacket spirit that defines this institution every single day. Today, we're stepping away from the formal lectern and doing something a little bit more personal. The state of the university is more than just a report of numbers and milestones. It is a conversation about our shared vision and the heartbeat of our campus. This chat is designed to be just that, an open, candid dialogue about where we stand today and the bold directions in which we are headed. We have a lot to cover, from an academic innovation to campus life. So let's settle in and get this started. It's now my honor to introduce the leader of our institution, President Cage.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Chairman, for being here with me today to help us to engage in this dialogue about the state of our university. And I want to acknowledge the hard work that you do as the chair of our board. It is not an easy job. We certainly don't pay you a lot, but it does come with an awesome responsibility. And I want to say thank you for being a clear-eyed, straight-shooting leader who holds us all accountable to make sure that we are delivering on our promise for our university. It means a great deal. I also want to begin by saying thank you to the university community, as I do in all of my remarks, because as you heard me say a few minutes ago, it literally does take a village to raise a child and to sustain a university. And each and every one of you are part of the incredible village that is West Virginia State University, and each of you are helping us to move forward and to deliver on our life-changing mission. A mission, by the way, that we have been doing for 135 years. I often think back over our founding about all of the challenges that our former leaders, our former faculty and staff and students face. And sometimes I wonder about how they made it. But I always come back to the same conclusion, and that is that they made it because they had a deep and abiding belief, a belief that education is the great equalizer. Education is the door that opens opportunities. And I believe that if we hold on to that belief, no matter what challenges we may face, we will always prevail. So on this Founders Day, I extend a great debt of gratitude to all of you for the work that we have done together and for the work that we will continue to do for the next 135 years for this incredible university and for the students and for the community that we so proudly serve.
Thank you for those. So let's just start off. How will you describe the state of West Virginia State University today?
Yes, I would say that the state of the university is strengthening. West Virginia State is a university that is on the rise. And if you look at a number of measures, I think that will become evident. We just witnessed here today $250,000 worth of new investments in our university from WellPoint and from the Mayor Foundation. We've seen throughout the public phase of our campaign, capital campaign, incredible announcements. We think about the $2.5 million that was invested in our university by Verl and Sandra Purdy to support our forthcoming School of Agriculture. We think about $1 million that the Dickinson Foundation has invested to support our nursing program. We think about the multi-million-dollar gift that Langley Spurlock has put on the table to support cybersecurity. And the list goes on and on and on, but what I always say is that individuals or corporations like the Mara Foundation or WellPoint or any other, the ones I just named, they don't make those kind of investments in institutions or in organizations that they don't believe in. So I believe that they are huge votes of confidence in the incredible work that we are doing, again, to deliver on our mission and to improve this community. So I think that's one evidence or piece of evidence that supports my belief that the state of our university is strengthening. We've also seen the rise of new academic programs at our institution. We know as we sit here today, we now have a fully approved Bachelor's of Science degree in cybersecurity. Again, a testament to the hard work of our faculty who have stood up and answered the call to make sure that our students have access to cutting edge programs that are going to help them to be able to graduate and assume the jobs of the new economy. I think about what's coming up in May when we'll graduate our first cohort of the university's first doctoral degree, a doctorate in education and leadership studies. And I'm looking straight at Dr. Roy Simmons, who has already defended his dissertation and has become the first doctorate to graduate from West Virginia State University. So if you look at the investments that we're receiving in our institution, you look at the new academic programs that we're bringing online to position ourselves for, again, the new knowledge economy, I think it is clear that our institution is very much being strengthened. It is clear that our university is very much on the rise.
Thank you. So you mentioned that today is the 135th anniversary of the founding of this university, which is, I think, tremendous. What do you see as some of the most lasting impacts that our university has, not only on the state, but on the nation since its founding?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think my immediate answer to that is I think the lasting impact that West Virginia State University has had on the Mountain State over the past 135 years rests within its people, rests within the graduates who have come through this university and with the help of the expert faculty have gone on to achieve incredible things. So that's the first thing that comes to mind, and I can give countless examples of graduates, whether it be Katherine Johnson, who we all know received both her high school diploma and her college degree from West Virginia State University. A little girl from humble beginnings in White Sulphur Springs came here to Institute and went on to help America win the space race at NASA. I think about graduates like Earl Loyce, the first African American to play in the NBA, Leon Sullivan, the Lion of Zion, who helped bring clarity and inclusion to America's corporate boardrooms. Or closer to home, alums like Alan McVeigh, that you just saw on the stage, who served as our state insurance commissioner and has gone on and led a career of public service and also excelled in business. And the list goes on and on and on. Our people are our greatest asset, and that asset is helping to move our state and our nation forward in a very positive trajectory. I also think about who we are as a land-grant university. And Dr. Smith knows very well that I have a favorite map that everywhere I go, if I'm at the legislature, if I'm talking to donors, I always pull this map out. And it's a map of all of West Virginia's 55 counties. And what that map shows is that our extension service has some level of programming that we are administering in all 55 counties here in this state. So our extension service gives us an opportunity to give back. It gives us an opportunity to have an impact across this state. So I would say that over the last 135 years has been an incredible force multiplier for our institution. And certainly I think we've also helped serve as the collective conscience of the state. You know, our institution was founded back in 1891 as a 1890 land-grant institution, an institution that offered African Americans an opportunity to receive a college degree at a time when they were denied in our other institutions of higher education in the state. Over time, we've evolved. In the 1950s, when segregation was ended, we opened our doors to all students, and we have served as a living laboratory of human relations, a shining example of what is possible when people from all backgrounds, all races come together to learn and to collaborate and to graduate and to become effective members of our society. So West Virginia State over the last 135 years has made a significant impact on West Virginia, and it will continue to make a significant impact, again, over the next 135 years.
So just wanted to shift a little bit. The annual session of the West Virginia Legislature just concluded here. I know an email came out. I just wanted to ask you, what were some of the important pieces of legislation that were passed that could impact the university and its people?
Yeah, I actually sit back and marvel when I think about from where we've come.
Yes.
Since I joined the university in 2021, almost 5 years ago now, I think about all the relationships that we have had the privilege of building, all those bridges we've built, and all of the opportunities that have traveled back across that bridge to West Virginia State University. It's been a true labor of love, Mr. Chairman, to help wave West Virginia State's banner high at our state legislature in Washington, D.C., in the halls of power and influence to help us to continue to, again, bring new resources to our institution and to drive our mission forward. And in the last 2 years, I've had a new partner in that work. And he's here with us today. And I want to publicly acknowledge and thank Curtis Johnson. Curtis, will you stand? Curtis is a one-man army. He is tenacious, and he does not accept no for an answer. He had me up at the legislature during over 50 meetings over the course of the 60-day session, making sure that we were delivering our message with precision in order to deliver results for our institution. And I'm happy to report that we were able to deliver on all of our legislative priorities for this state legislative session. And that includes, you can clap, go ahead and clap. And that includes the following. So obviously every single year, Dr. Smith has me go up and ask for support for our federal land grant match. This year, we asked the legislature to fund us at $5 million to support our land grant match, and that's exactly what we got. $5 million from the legislature. We also saw a 2%, proposed 2% cut to our base budget restored. In addition to that, we saw increases to our base budget as a result of PEIA increases, increases for employee salaries, and also fully funding of the higher education funding formula. We also saw new money put on the table by having the legislature support and the governor sign a bill that will bring $250,000 to West Virginia State University to fund expansion of our LPN, the BSN program. And I want to tell you something. The LPN, the BSN program is one example of what I mean when I say that Curtis Johnson is tenacious and he does not accept no for an answer. We believed in our LPN to BSN program. Last year, we took a group of our students, our nursing students, up to see legislators doing their day at the Capitol. And a group of our students met with the Speaker of the House. And the Speaker of the House was so impressed with our nursing students that he literally called myself, Provost Williams, and Curtis Johnson and Dean Steele back into the office and said, I want to do something for the nursing program at West Virginia State University because I believe in those students and I believe in the work that the nursing program is doing to support our healthcare sector here in West Virginia. So we brought a proposal back to the Speaker, and he agreed to put $250,000 in the budget, a budget which passed the legislature last year. Unfortunately, that item was line item vetoed by Governor Morrissey last year. But again, because we believe in that program, our LPN to BSN program, because we believe in our students, this session, we said we're going to take a second bite of the apple. We're not going to take no for an answer. And with Curtis's help, we mounted a aggressive campaign which solicited wide-reaching support from across the legislature and within the governor's office. And this year, as I said, we can report that we were able to secure $250,000 that will expand our LPN, the BSN program. What I'm trying to demonstrate here, folks, is that relationships matter. And I know it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, but these things are paying off with huge dividends for our university. So, Mr. Chairman, in closing, or in sum, my response would be that the legislative session was very successful at West Virginia State University because we have the right people in the right seats advancing our priorities.
Absolutely. And, thank you for mentioning all the wins for the university, that the check presentations we had today. But what do you see as some of the challenges facing higher education today, and how is West Virginia State University addressing those challenges?
Yeah. So it is true that higher education remains in a very volatile environment. Again, not just for West Virginia State, but for all of higher education. We're seeing a lot of pressures from a lot of different external and internal sources. We know that from a public policy standpoint, there is a increasing heightened demand to see more of an emphasis on finding ways to reduce the overall cost of higher education. Affordability is a big policy discussion right now, both in West Virginia and nationally. So we as institutions are seeing a lot of pressure from policymakers about how can we make higher education more affordable. We're also seeing questions or pressure around modalities, right? How do we make higher education less timely? Are there ways that we can compress a four-year degree into less years? Is there a way that we can deliver higher education, again, in a wider range of modalities? So our traditional models of delivering education is being challenged as well. Certainly, we're seeing a lot of challenge coming from administration in Washington. Of course, every new administration has a new agenda and new ways of operating. So we're working as an institution to make sure that our way of doing business aligns with the expectations that we're seeing from Washington, D.C. And certainly, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention enrollment. Dr. Simmons is doing one heck of a job to try to help us get ahead of the enrollment cliff that is here. But it is a real challenge because we're seeing increasing competition for a dwindling pool of students. So we're having to be more creative with how we go out and recruit students and retain students in order to ensure that we have sufficient enrollment to continue to be able to deliver on our mission. So all these things are challenges, and overlaid over top of that, of course, is the current economic environment. As John Beckford reminds us of quite often, we're seeing inflation. And I know you know that, Mr. Chairman, being in the financial sector, but we're seeing inflation. Money is not the same money that we had last year. Is not going quite as far as it used to. So we're having to figure out how to navigate around an economic climate that is, again, very volatile at this point in time. So there's a lot of challenges that we face across the institution. I would say internally, obviously, anytime we get into an environment where we need to make change, there's a bit of discomfort. So one of the things that we have to do, that I have to do as the leader of the institution, is do as best of a job as I can to communicate. When we do institute changes, whether they be financially, whether they be organizationally, we've got to make sure folks understand why we are putting these changes in place and why they are needed and what the outcomes of those changes will be. So it's a lot of things that we're navigating around, but I do believe that we have a dedicated group of employees here at the university, and I've said many times before that our greatest asset at West Virginia State is our people. It's why we are here today, 135 years strong, is because we do have a dedicated faculty and staff, students, alumni, and supporters who all believe in our mission and who all work tirelessly day in and day out to deliver success. So again, there are challenges, but I believe we're positioned to meet those challenges head on.
I think you mentioned something very important there. In order for the long-term viability of this university, if you want to last the next 135 years, and that is the recruiting of the next generation of Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
What are some of the steps the university is taking to increase enrollment?
Yeah. I think obviously what we saw at the beginning of this year was new leadership. We knew that what we were doing previously was not delivering the results that we need to see at our university, so we brought in new leadership in Dr. Simmons, and he has been working from day one, really hit the ground like the road runner, for those who are old enough to know the road runner, hit the ground like the road runner, and has been assembling a team of enrollment professionals who are out there every single day delivering our message and working to recruit and retain new students. We've seen new agreements put in place. For example, in Kanawha County, Dr. Simmons and Jody Johnson have worked with Kanawha County Public Schools to have a guaranteed admissions agreement with Kanawha County. So now every any senior graduating from Kanawha County who meets our enrollment criteria is automatically admitted to our university, and now we have information sharing based on that agreement, so it just makes it easier for us to get in front of those students who are in our backyard to help them to decide to come to West Virginia State University. We've looked at all of our systems, our platforms that are communicating with students, and we've really spent a lot of time scrubbing those systems, making sure that the data that's being pushed out to our students in the recruitment life cycle is clear, concise, compelling, and correct. So making sure we are opening up those lines of communications. Obviously, we are also working to be inside as many of the high schools as we can. Certainly those in West Virginia, those in our backyard, because we want to win back our backyard. And Roy has been making sure that our recruiters are in those schools, connecting with the counselors and also connecting directly with the students. We've been at every fair and festival and you name it. We've had a West Virginia State tent there, and we've had our materials and our recruiters. So what this is all about really is about having a presence, letting people know who we are, and letting students and parents know that West Virginia State University should be a school of first choice, not a fallback option as they are considering their college career. Now, Roy gives the cabinet an update every Monday on where we are right now with recruitment. And what I can say is that we are well ahead of where we were the same time last year with respect to the number of applications, with respect to the number of confirmations. Keep me honest, Roy. That's right. So
He had that information on ask.
What's that?
He had that information
Yes,
on
he
ask.
does have, he got it in his pocket, okay. So we are ahead of where we were this time last year with respect to number of applications that have been submitted and the number of confirmations. So that is positive news. We can also say we saw with respect from retention, we saw an uptick in our retention numbers. So all that is to say, with respect to recruitment, we are cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. It is very early still, but we are pulling every single lever at our disposal to make sure that we're going to see positive trajectories with respect to enrollment and retention in the fall of this year.
Excellent. So one of the biggest wins the university has been the forthcoming Ag Lab and the School of Agriculture. Just can you give us an update on that project and talk about what will that mean for West Virginia State University? Absolutely,
and I think we've got a rendering that we can put up on the screen behind us. We do. There it is. So let me say a couple things, because I've heard a persistent question being asked around campus, and that is the Ag Lab happening? Yes, the agricultural laboratory is in fact happening. We are well underway. We've had a team that has been working really around the clock to make sure that we are on track to getting this facility constructed. And that team, just two folks on that team I want to call out specifically, Hannah Payne being one of them. She's been there from the very beginning. I don't know if Hannah is here or not. She may not be here, but Hannah Payne has been here from the very beginning, and Curtis Johnson is also joining that team as well. So those two individuals are kind of the co-leads, and Dr. Amy Smith has also been involved. But those are the leaders who have been making sure that we are pressing this work forward with great determination. What I can say is we have completed the planning phase of the project. We've also completed the schematic design phase of the project. We know, based on conversations with our architects, that we will begin moving earth for the project in early 2027. with a project completion date of 2029. The rendering that you see behind you is the most current imagery of what the facility will look like. We spent a lot of time, and the committee, the working group that's aligned with this work, has spent a lot of time thinking about what we wanted the facility to look like. We want it to look like a facility that looks like nothing else on our campus. And that's one of the things the conversation we had early on with our architects, because anyone who knows anything about architecture, you know that the default position for architecture is to try to, when you're designing a new building, is to try to align it with the current design language of a campus. But we said no. We said no. We want this building to look like nothing else on our campus. We want it to be a building that represents the future of West Virginia State University and the future of the Mountain State. And I believe that the rendering that you see on the screen behind me does that. It says that this is a place where innovation happens. This is a place that represents the future, again, of our university and of our state. This is also the place that will serve as home of our forthcoming Purdy School of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources. And I can tell you, because Trey and I went down to the Greenbrier last week. Was it last week or the week before? Last week, and we visited with Verl and Sandra at their home at the Greenbrier, and they were so excited to see just how far we've come, and they are very, very much involved and looking forward to this school happening, a school which will bear their family name. So the Ag School is an important part of who we are as a land-grant university. As I talk with Provost Williams all the time, I say that it's important for us to lean into land-grant because it is who we are. It is what we were founded as. And as we work on developing in this school, we're also working on developing a Bachelor's of Science degree in agriculture, which will be the centerpiece of this new School of Agriculture, a place where we will not only be advancing cutting-edge pedagogy in agriculture and related fields, but we'll also be working to drive forward research and outreach in the community to make sure that we are applying the knowledge which is generated in the school to the communities that we serve. So I'm very excited about agriculture. I'm very excited about the Ag Lab, and I look forward to continuing to update you as this exciting project continues to advance.
Thank you. So in addition to the new Ag Lab, I've been appreciative of this administration in undertaking a number of initiatives in the past year to address the quality of facilities and services on the campus. So what's the status of some of those initiatives, and what is more to come later this year?
Yeah, so I mean, I know that our Division of Business and Finance has been working around the clock under John Beckville's leadership, and also under Eric Jackson's, I was going to say doctor, not quite yet, but almost there. But under Eric Jackson's leadership, they've been working to make sure that we are deploying the deferred maintenance, $11 million roughly in deferred maintenance money that we received from the state about 2 years ago now. And those projects have been well underway. You've seen new roofs put on a number of buildings. You've seen new HVAC systems installed in a number of buildings. We still have more roofs and I think more HVAC projects that are underway, will be underway. Some of them will take place this summer. I know that David's Fine Arts is a pain point for us, but that is on the list to be addressed this summer to make improvements in that building. We've seen new boilers put in this building to help with the heating during the summer, during the winter months. So there's a lot of things happening across campus. We also received recently about $3.6 million from the federal government in the form of Title III supplemental funding and we do plan to use some of that funding to address our IT infrastructure improvements across campus. We know that that's been an area of opportunity for us, and we are working with our IT team to make sure that we're deploying some of that money to make sure that our IT infrastructure is improved. And there's smaller things too, like copiers, right? I mean, I know from a faculty perspective, that's an area that has created some frustration. We're going to use some of that money to buy copiers. I think many of them may already be here. We just need to work to get them appropriately networked and operational. So there are a lot of things which are happening. Some projects are larger than others. Some projects are more visible than others, but we are listening. We just submitted to Congressman Miller's office a congressionally directed spending request, which if funded will help us to address some ADA issues that we have across campus, putting in ramps and other ADA accessibility items to make sure that our campus is navigable by all members of our community. So we are being very attentive to our physical plant, making sure that we are investing the dollars that we receive wisely so that we can ensure, again, that this is a place where folks will feel comfortable and will feel welcome as they carry out the important work of teaching, learning, and supporting our mission.
Thank you. So the university's land grant mission is vital in reaching communities in all 55 counties of West Virginia. How do you see that mission continue to grow in the future?
Yeah, it's interesting because Dr. Smith and I were talking about that earlier today. And, as I just said, land grant is incredibly important to who we are as an institution. Again, it is what we were founded as, an 1890 land grant institution. It's important to me, one, because I have the honor of serving as the president of this great university, but two, because I also serve as chair of the Council of 1890 University Presidents. And the council represents all of the 19 land grant institutions across our country. So it's important for me as the chair of our council and chair of our 1890 Foundation to be able to say with clarity and to share with clarity my commitment to the land grant mission. So what I think we need to do is, as I said, continue to lean in. What we are going to do is continue to work to expand our research portfolio. We know that thanks to the funding that we receive from the state consistently now, the full funding for our land grant match, that gives us more resources to be able to invest back into our land grant mission, into our capacity, our facilities. So we're going to double down on research to help bring forth new innovations, again, that can be applied to support the community that we serve. We also want to expand our extension reach of our extension service. Right now, we're doing incredible work in all 55 counties, but the question that we're going to be asking going forward is what more can we do? What more can we do in order to reach more of our citizens here in West Virginia? Because again, that is what differentiates us from every other institution in West Virginia outside of West Virginia University. Our land grant mission is an incredible force multiplier for our institution. It allows our impact and our reach to expand far outside of our campus boundaries here in Institute. So an expanded research portfolio, expanded extension capacity is going to be critically important. I know Dr. Smith is also going to be working to further build internal capacity, making sure that she's got the right staff in place and where necessary, bringing on more professionals, again, to help advance advance our land grant mission.
So you mentioned that, that's a great phrase, what more can we do? Having said that, what are some of the plans for the future of West Virginia State University that you would like to share with us today?
Yeah, I think we're going to continue to keep our eye on our finances, because all of us know that we just came through our future state transformation process. I think it was well managed. I mean, it's not going to make everybody happy, but I think in general it was well managed, and I think we did a reasonably good job of communicating the decisions that were made. But on the road ahead, we will continue to watch very carefully our fiscal health at the university. It's important. And as we continue to see our enrollment numbers grow, then we'll be in a position to make decisions about how we can make more strategic investments into the university to help grow key programs that we believe have significant capability of delivering significant returns to the university. So I think that's the first thing we're going to do, is to continue to keep a close eye on our fiscal health. We also will continue to lean into the notion of program innovation, certainly within the academic enterprise. I know that our provosts and our deans are do a good job of keeping their finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world, and making sure that we are bringing forth new ideas that will help us to ensure that we are providing education that aligns with the current workforce needs. Cybersecurity is a good example of that, right? I mean, we know that cybersecurity is going to continue to be an area of growth. So we believed that that was an area that we needed to be in. And it really took an idea. It took an idea, and our faculty and our staff and administrators rallied around that idea. And today, we have a Bachelor's of Science degree in cybersecurity. So I think that is going to continue to play out in the coming years in multiple areas where we believe there are opportunities for us to grow new programs, again, that are going to deliver significant returns to our students and to the university. We're also going to work, as we bring on new programs, to ensure that those programs are cross-disciplinary. And a good example of that would be, again, if you focus back on cybersecurity and agriculture. As we're building out this new agricultural laboratory and the Purdy School of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources, we've already decided that we're going to integrate cybersecurity, AI, and agriculture. We're going to bring those disciplines together, and we're going to create something special, because we know that food security is national security. So bringing those three things under one tent allows us to create a capability for our students, so they'll be able to graduate and have degrees which prepare them to go out and defend our agricultural ecosystem from cyber attacks that might seek to destroy or disrupt America's food system. So it's that kind of thinking which is going to really lead us into the future, a cross-disciplinary approach that is bringing in a number of different program areas, but it's also informed by the backdrop of what's happening in the world, what's happening in the workforce. We can no longer be an insular institution, right? We have to respect traditions, we have to respect academic freedom, but we cannot be insular. We've got to look out and see what's happening in the world and integrate that information to create new knowledge, new opportunities for our students. And I think the last thing I'll say is I do believe, I've been pretty bullish on online education. And I think we have more work to do, because I do believe that we are leaving a lot of opportunity on the table by not fully leaning into and embracing online education. And it's a smart way to do that, right? It's a smart way to do that, and it's a delicate balance, because we certainly don't want to cannibalize the incredible teaching and learning that we do in seat on campus. But we also have to recognize the incredible competition and compression that we're having in the enrollment space right now. So in order for us to get outside of our core market here in the Kanawha Valley, we're going to need to really lean more heavily into online education so that we can reach students at further geographical distances. And a good example of that, Dr. Steele, would be our EDD. We were in a meeting yesterday, and I think the provost was going through the stats of where our second cohort for the EDD program, where those students are coming from. And I know we had a student from as far off as California. And that can only happen if we have online delivery of really high demand programs. So I think online education, an enhanced look at online education, is going to have to be an important part of our future as we grapple with the challenges of enrollment. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think the road that lies ahead is windy, but I think we have the capacity, the expertise, and most importantly, the will to travel that road in a way that will deliver us toward success. So I'm excited about what the next 135 years will look like for West Virginia State University, and I'm privileged to have the opportunity to serve as your president.
Well, President Cage, I certainly appreciate you taking the time on behalf of the Board of Governors and all the stakeholders at West Virginia State University for taking the time to have this conversation in the state of university. And with that, would you like have any final thoughts?
No, I think my final word is, again, thank you. I will say this, today is our day of giving. So I am asking all of you to join me in investing in our university, a university that is 135 years strong. So please, if you have not done so, go online, make that gift so that we can continue this important work. And on the count of three, let's stand up, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
On the count of three, I want you to join me and Chairman Flores in our battle cry here at West Virginia State University. A battle cry that represents our incredible past, our amazing present, and our boundless future. And of course, that battle cry is Go State. So on the count of three, join me in Go State. 1, 1.5, 2, 3, Go State! Thank y'all very much.
Thank you all.